Walking the journey of trying to get rid of the baby tummy. And this is normally an uphill task for so many mothers, but they're caught between trying to provide the right nutrition for their lactating child and trying to get their groove back. What should we consider when it comes to nutrition to be able to keep that balance?
Remember, breast milk production is a psychological process which involves the mind and the hormones. So the foods you are taking, you are just enriching your milk. But yes, the food is very important.
Okay, so in this case, what should I consider to ensure that I'm not eating for two, still getting the right nutrition for my baby, but ensuring that I keep my weight at a good place?
You need to watch your plate as it was just before. You need to watch your carbohydrate intake because this is the food that gives you energy and you don't want to put much of the weight. So watch your carbohydrate intake, watch your protein intake. These are the bodybuilding foods, the animal-based and the plant-based. And also, but you need to put in consideration your iron intake because you need to replenish back your blood stores. And also, you should consider foods that boost your calcium in your body. So things like milk, things like yogurt will help to boost your calcium.
And why is calcium important at this point?
Remember, during pregnancy, it's like you are sharing your calcium intake with your baby. So you need to replenish it back to avoid the bone issues like the osteoporosis later in life.
Okay, and I have heard this for many mothers. When you have your newborn, they have issues with the wrist, issues with the teeth or joints, and now you have this same mother trying to work out. So can you take supplements or you can just focus on the foods and you'll be fine?
If it's severe pain, you can consider talking to your doctor. He can recommend maybe some supplements, but if it's not that severe, you could just take the calcium direct from the foods.
Okay, now you said you need to check and keep an eye on your carbohydrates. Now, there's some who will go into it saying, this is what is making me bigger than I should. But you still need energy to breastfeed. So how do you strike the balance?
For the carbohydrates, just eat what is in that. It's enough and your body requires. Go for the complex carbohydrates. If you take complex carbohydrates, it will help you not to add that much weight compared to the simple carbohydrates. When I'm talking about complex carbohydrates, I'm talking things like sweet potatoes, things like ndoma, the brown rice, all those. They help you not to add that much weight compared when you're taking the simple carbohydrates. You don't have to refrain from the carbohydrates.
And Lucy, considering if the mother has gone back to her fitness regime, should they take more meals than usual because they are using a lot more energy, or should they just keep to the 3 square meals a day?
In breastfeeding, especially if you are doing exclusive breastfeeding, you only require 400 to 500 extra calories per day. So you don't have to take that much. You can stick to your normal diet.
Interesting. Okay, and we'll come back to touch on the special category because there are mothers who walk into this with underlying conditions, and it will be interesting to understand if there needs to be consideration on the same. But as Caroline, we were doing the exercises, you were complaining about your back. Yes. Whatever happened to it?
I wouldn't say I'm very sure. I started on my weight loss journey not too long ago. It's not even 2 months since. But I also went through a C-section, and I don't have the medical term for it. Maybe she can help me. Where they numb you from the waist down. Epidural, thank you, epidural. So that is what I went through. And there's some mothers have had complain about, lower back pain post-op, you know. So I don't know whether that's the reason, or it's basically the fact that I've been working out without a trainer. Mine has been without a trainer. So I don't know whether I pushed myself a little too much. So I suffered, I hurt my back. Or it's basically the post-op, complications.
Procedure.
Yes.
Okay, going by what you noticed in how she actually works out. Could that be the reason?
I will make a calculated guess
Yeah.
and combine the two. From a CS and the back not being stable, and then you're doing the wrong thing. It's already in a weak spot, and then you're overstraining it. So I could say it's a mixture of the two.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in this case, what would you recommend?
Actually, for that specific move that she was doing wrongly, I would like to remove it and substitute it with two different moves she can work on without putting so much emphasis on the spine. So one of them will be hip thrusters. Here you're stable and your hip is stable, lower back is stable. So you're just coming up, tight glutes there, tight quads, tight belly. Hold it up for 1, 2, 3, and back down.
Caroline, we need to be practical, please.
1, 2, 3, and back down. So you ladies will give me 5, and I'll also just check to make sure that
The
you're
posture
giving
is
me
right.
100% and not 20.
Okay.
Good, so bring it up, squeeze in your glutes, like squeeze them in together, keep it tight. 1, 2, 3, and down. 9 more times up. 1, 2, 3, and down. 8 more times. 1, 2, 3, and down. I want you to go highest you can. Squeeze it together. 1, 2, 3, 6 more. Up. 1, 2, 3, 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4 more. You're coming all the way down and up. 1, 2, 3. Last 3. Up. Last 2. Up. Last one. Up. Thank you, ladies.
So in this case, we've worked on the glutes, we've worked on the pelvic area, and also
Yes.
the tummy.
Yes.
Okay.
Without jeopardizing anything.
And it's stretching
Alright.
the back actually. I actually
You
feel
feel
better.
Thank you.
Yeah.